Welcome back.
I don't want to.
Welcome.
Whoa.
NDL Weekly. God dang it, that was a good surprise. I got you, bitches. Man, that was fun, dude. Hey, dude. Hey, 21 subscribers. Do you think they know they're subscribing to us?
No.
Do you think they accidentally
absolutely
hit
not.
that?
They're trying.
I'm with you.
They're trying to
mistake.
X out.
Actually, I got my
shouldn't have said
brother
anything.
and my cousin to subscribe.
Did you?
They're not even in the leagues.
My mom watches.
I'm trying to get my cousin in here for the next one.
Oh,
that's
fun.
a good way to. That's a good way to get some new blood, or
How
scare
Jason
people
got-
off.
It's so my brother's a little like on the fence
no.
about the more intense stuff, but my cousin is like, he works for PFF. He started last year.
Whoa.
Really?
I forget what he went to school
So
for, but
we
he
get some
graduated.
inside scoops.
He's kind of a grunt still.
Are we
but
gonna be on TV?
No. But he lives in Las Vegas and he works at PFF
That's how
and
these
he
things
loves it so
start.
far.
Can we get
Dude,
some
Pickle-
advertising? Free advertising?
We'll see. I'll ask
I
him
have
about it.
good TV person.
Maybe they'll sponsor us. Hey, Pickle,
Maybe
you
they'll
look-
develop our league for us. So we could do
Yeah.
trading across conferences.
Oh, yeah. Let's get a
Hey,
whole
Pickle,
platform going.
You look like a golfer.
Yeah.
Does anybody tell you that?
Well, he's
I-
Let's
wearing
fucking
a
go,
button
Pickle.
up.
Congratulations on the job.
Yeah, I did get.
Oh,
the
you
job.
got it.
I
Nice.
did. Yeah.
Hey, congratulations. What job?
Second assistant.
Which one?
It's a second assistant at a golf course in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, which is like 35 minutes from my house.
It's in Wisconsin.
Nice.
Who the fuck cares? I
I'll
was
see
kidding.
you guys
I
next
know
week.
where
Heck,
Fond
you
du Lac
are.
is. I know where Hold on, I know where Fond du Lac is. No one
He
knows.
says, "Who cares?" Hey, wait.
Oh.
Does golf shut down in the winter?
Yeah. Although I did play today. It was actually pretty nice. It was 45
Okay.
and not a lot of wind.
That's-
And I
Do you
played
wear
pretty well.
gloves?
No, I was in short sleeve and pants.
Nice.
Wow.
That's
You
Yeah.
work up a sweat?
No,
was-
I just, have balls.
You need to be
Are
nimble.
you walking when
Nope.
you go?
Riding.
Oh.
Friday.
You're right. yeah.
Listen, hey, he's
Always
no
psychopaths walk.
idiot.
I was
He-
with
listen,
I was with 3 other
He's a
guys.
big boy.
They were all almost 60.
Is it a country club?
Oh, okay.
No. Oh, yes, it is. It's a golf and country club. So yeah,
Yeah, nice.
that's where my job is. Where I played golf today was just a regular course.
Oh,
But, like,
yeah.
all
yeah.
these guys are retired. Well, actually, one guy still teaches, but he just took the day off. He had a doctor's appointment at 8 and took the whole day
it's
off.
coworkers or ex-coworkers.
Yeah.
Are you finishing
Dude,
up the year teaching or no?
I'm subbing, so if there's somebody gone, I work, but there was nobody gone today. So
Okay.
we were like, "Hey, you guys want to go play at 11?" I was like,
Nice.
"Sure."
How'd they get you back in subbing?
I needed a job that was really flexible, that was going to pay okay, and once you get to 20 days of subbing, every day after is $205.
Oh.
So it's
hell
kind of
yeah.
garbage right now. It's 130, but then once day 21 and on is 205 per day. And I just sit there. I was doing fantasy prep.
It's
Hell
like
yeah.
caddying that requires a degree. You just get paid for
How's
like whatever day. Like
Oh,
caddying.
yeah.
You just pick
like-
up a shift.
Yeah, exactly. So, but this, like, I didn't have work today and I don't have work tomorrow. So I might have to go to another district and sub for 2 different districts. But it's just flexible. And then I can take off all the time I want for Christmas to go with my family. And then if it's nice out, it's like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to go play golf instead. And I
Yeah, that's awesome. And you can't imagine you have to prep for anything, right?
No, nothing. Just show up.
You
Get my
literally
laptop.
show up and make sure the kids don't kill themselves.
Yeah, I'm out of there before. I'm pushing kids out of the way to get out the door first. I'm
My,
like, "Street's done."
One of my friends from college, his fiance, I guess now, is she's like a building sub, and she ended up subbing for a guy who's on extended absence, but he's dealing with like I don't know what the right term is, but the problem children, the ones that like can't be in the normal classes, and she gets bit like on a weekly basis.
Bit?
Yeah, go somewhere else.
And she's like really fulfilled by it. But my friend's like, I feel so bad for her because
So
she's getting wrecked.
Does your friend bite her? If she seems to like biting.
He's a savage. He probably bites her all the time.
Wow.
I'm getting horny. So, let's go to 32.
Thank you.
32 Pickle.
Yeah,
feel
that's a
like-
good
let's-
segue.
Feel like a
Let's
golfer.
start with you.
Oh,
right.
hold on.
3 absolutely garbage trades.
Okay.
Well, one of them was okay, but most of them were trash.
Okay.
Zach,
Who's
you posting it?
who's sharing screen?
Yeah, I thought I'd already done it and I
Oh.
realized I hadn't.
My bad. There we go. Oh,
Oh.
did you do it? Oh, did you? Oh,
What are you
sorry.
doing?
Jay, a
Well,
menace.
Kyle
Hey,
did it,
what's
and then
happening?
I did it, and then Kyle did it, but then I was
Well, I
just
like the
fiddling.
banner. Fuck Justin.
No, that was Brandon.
Oh,
You too,
Are we
Justin.
just
We don't
saying
like
fuck
you.
Justin anyway?
I don't think he likes the background. He likes I don't know. I could be wrong
no, I like
on
it.
what he likes.
I
I
like
think the banner's
logo
too
for
big,
sure,
but
by
I
the way.
like the way it looks.
Me too.
Um,
Me too.
So
I like
hey,
it.
let's talk about that for just a minute.
Yeah, I don't
So
know.
I love it.
I like it.
I don't. I wouldn't
like it.
change.
I like the
I mean,
emblem
the
for
background
the-
kind of messes with your eyes a bit, but
I agree. It could be
Oh,
a little thinner, but I like it.
yeah,
Hey,
I
so-
think that's my only. Well, and it's not an image, so you can't click it like you can in the other ones to
Yeah.
go back to
Hmm.
the main page.
hmm.
We got some things still
That's the
to
home
work out on this
What-
page, but
Why can't we get the normal roster page back? Did these
so
changes
the
mess
normal
that up?
roster page wasn't a normal roster page. It was actually
Oh.
coded. And his code for everything else broke that.
Oh,
So
go
Can
back.
you-
Revert changes.
Off
I
pod,
don't even know if you
can
can
tell me
go back.
what he changed so I can like dig into it. Because I kind of want to figure that out.
yeah, I will try to get a hold of or have Braxton get a hold of him, and because if you can code it, it's just all CSS.
Yeah,
Um,
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I could probably figure it out. Just
oh,
like
I
as a
could
hobby
probably, if
thing.
I had time, could figure out CSS.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
could probably figure it out too.
But I thought you were
CSS
acting
is
like
fake.
you knew CSS, so you could just.
I do know. I mean, it's again, anyone can figure it out. But yeah, just
I
off
probably figure it
pod, we'll figure it out.
CSS,
Well, I love it.
STP, whatever. I mean,
out. STD, I got it.
Hey, just
HTML.
hey, thanks for giving us, these neat little toys to dig into with these leagues, man. We
He-
appreciate you always working on, making it better.
Yeah, did he also make the actual logo? Because the logo is sick.
So I gave him the ideas, and it took forever to get it the way I wanted, and for him to understand what because Braxton was the middleman. I was telling Braxton what I
Oh,
wanted.
Jesus, okay.
Braxton was because Braxton paid for it all. Braxton was relaying
Wow.
it to
Oh, really?
him. Yeah.
What did you?
Dude, Braxton.
Sorry, I
I
said
Thanks,
owe him.
man.
I owe him an accept on a shitty trade.
So I had kind of was looking at some different things and had some stuff in my head and what I wanted. And this is the new logo for NDL.
I like it.
I do too.
I like it. I think
All right.
you for Discord you need to fill in the blank space.
Yeah, the white is kind of.
Like make it
But
black or something.
I like the logo. Logo's good.
I
Yep.
agree.
I think you need like a brownish gold. The black wouldn't really go with the brown and gold kind of UPS color scheme we got, but I like it. Trades in 32. So it looks like Braxton traded with Justin. Braxton gave up Pat Fryermuth, a third from 2024 and a second from 2025 for Deontay Johnson.
He would have beat me so much worse if he had Deontay Johnson on his team.
Yeah, he made this trade after Thursday night last week, though. So this was after
After the game, wow.
after the game.
No, this trade was made on Wednesday.
I
Oh,
mean, didn't we
Oh,
see
shit,
that?
I
We
forgot
saw 2
to-
weeks.
oh, that's
we-
different.
This is the
Hold
third
on.
week from Deontay Johnson, right? So we already know what he's doing.
Hang on, that's
Third?
Third week that he's been performing. I thought.
Oh,
Or is it the
I
second
didn't know
week?
no,
Yeah.
no.
This is that
Oh.
last week was last week was his first touchdown.
in like 2 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who gives a shit about the touchdowns though?
I
I thought he had like
personally-
3 weeks at 15
said-
points.
yes. Yeah,
he
he
said
has.
three. He said 3 decent.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
so
because
we
he
already-
hadn't played all season.
Right, that's what
12,
I'm saying.
16,
No.
and 22.
That's
Yeah.
that's what
Damn,
I'm saying. He was
30.
out, but like he's already the guy
If you guys
coming
didn't
back
see,
3 weeks.
Big time. 35 targets in 3
This is-
weeks.
The best thing that's ever happened to Kenny Pickett.
he
Wow.
he was also fined $25,000 for his comments about the refereeing during
It's
the
fine. He's
game.
about to
Yeah,
get a huge
I saw that.
raise.
Hmm.
You see,
So-
George Pickens isn't happy.
Yeah.
I saw that people were calling him immature. What did he do?
Basically, he's not
Hopefully
happy
somewhere
that Deontay is getting the balls and the
Then
touchdowns,
get
and
better, you bum.
Let's just hope that we're taking it out of context because
Calling him a
that
bum
can't
is
be
like
right.
one of the best
think we
players in
are.
the NFL, so
Pretty
like,
sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway, so this
Well,
was
I thought that was a great trade.
yeah,
Yeah,
I like it.
I take the Johnson side for sure.
I would
my
as well.
Yeah.
I'd say in tight end premium. I mean, all things created equal.
It's not
It's
tight
I'll
end
take-
premium, though.
It
I'll
is tight
take
end.
Freiermuth in a second pretty easily
No.
for Deontay if I'm not competing. I mean,
32 is tight end premium.
Is it?
yeah,
Okay.
So
It's more
I'd say
even
that's
than
super
mine.
solid.
fairly
I
even
still prefer
trade.
Johnson, but I think it's even then.
And then
A bunch of shit.
Justin was pretty
Johnson's
active.
$32.
All right,
Justin-
moving on.
Justin was pretty active.
Wait, you sent more than a fourth for Kendrick Bourne with the ACL?
That's Justin.
Justin sent a third and fourth
What
for
is he
Kendrick
doing?
Bourne. I don't know. It's not my problem.
Whatever.
And then-
Anyways,
Not my
And then-
He's not competing. It's all for next year.
And then
I think that's good. He was
Zach was
Pretty
looking
good.
for a
Holy
QB that he could
shit.
put on his bench, and so he gave up a third
Zach,
round pick.
this
for Kyle
is some
Trask.
trade rape here. What is happening?
I give me the third round pick.
Yeah. Kyle Trask is
Tim.
not a
Oh
starter.
yeah, Tim was looking for a QB to put on his bench. What the heck?
Tim.
What are you doing?
Just pick
It's
up
a
the
third.
papers.
It's
Oh,
a third.
Tim.
I don't
Tim
care.
also.
If you go
Roster
look at
clogger.
the history of the leagues,
Give me the
thirds
thirds.
are almost exclusively droppable. In
It's
every
not.
league.
It's not
Oh.
about the price. It's
It's a
about the
throw-in for another
space
trade.
that it's taking on your roster.
No.
It's
Yeah.
a $7 salary.
That is crazy that you
Oh,
have 4
and it's
rounds
7
in this league.
Timothy.
Well, they're going away.
Tim,
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
I wasn't gonna do this, but I'm really sorry that Cam Akers tore his ACL or Achilles after you traded away your first to me for him.
oh,
That was brutal.
I said it.
Yeah.
All right.
oh.
Also,
first.
just to segue that, Mitch tried to get Najee Harris for me for Cam Akers last week, and I said,
Mitchell.
I said nice try.
It wasn't straight up. It was not straight up.
It was straight up.
It was straight up.
It was
What a
straight up.
horrible offer.
In fact, it was.
I said in the comment, I said nice try, lol.
You offered that it wasn't straight up.
Hold on,
Yeah,
I'm gonna double
it
check
was.
that because I feel bad if that's
It
not
probably
true.
was. It probably was.
That's the best.
They're the
You
same
tell me
salary
I try to
mostly.
talk you into things.
I
You
didn't
and
try
your
to talk.
sub,
I didn't try to talk.
you
to
and your
I just
sub
sent
job,
it- I just set it out there and let the universe decide.
you and your
the
sub
universe
job
decided.
had a full-on dialogue with me the other day, which I thoroughly enjoyed. But I was thinking, man, this guy's got some major time on his hands. This is really well thought out
So
content.
So
It
many
was
kids are on
straight.
their
It was
phones.
straight up, you bum. And I
I'm
said
bummed.
nice. I didn't say nice try, lol. I said nice try, guy.
Did I respond?
No.
Probably
LOL.
'cause I knew it was bad.
Yeah.
All right, tell me what you see in 32, Mitch.
I see that I got almost every single prediction wrong for this the whole league. I'm horrible at this. Nothing super duper stands out except Renee. I had maybe getting into the playoffs in the AFC, and I think she's out definitely,
She's 100% out now.
which is awesome for me.
Yeah. It's a good start.
And then I also had
You still have a
Todd.
pick. Good job.
I do. Yeah, I have Todd and Adam. I had them both tied, and now Adam might not make the playoffs, but Todd might. That's Tampa Bay Panty Raiders and the Bourbon Street something or others.
Yeah.
So those were the two that like.
I'm gonna make my team name to
And-
something or others.
And if you look at
I love that.
NFC West, that also is really wow. 8-4, 8-4, 8-4, 6-6.
Well, I think we're in. No, sorry.
Which is kind of-
Wrong league.
Which is kind of interesting. Most of that division could make the playoffs, but it'll be weird because they're going to beat up on each other the next 3 weeks. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Nothing else really super duper stood out. If you look, I flip in between conferences. AFC, anybody who's 6-6 can still make it. They're fighting for the last wild card spot. Possibly Cole and it's not Dan. I know it's not Dan. Whoever the defenders are.
Ryan.
Ryan. Cole and Ryan are in the spot, but that could Ryan has a really tough end of year schedule. So I think the 6 and
I
6
gotta beat. I have to beat him this week.
are battling it out without Mahomes and Kelsey, which you basically didn't have Mahomes and Kelsey last week either. So
Yeah.
So that's it. Nothing super crazy, some boring trades. I think everyone is kind of aside of like 3 teams have kind of they know like their season's decided. whether they're going to make it or not. And so I think you'll see not a lot of moves anymore for the rest of the season. When's trade deadline in this league? In all the leagues, is it week?
There isn't one.
There's
Oh
no.
no, for any of them?
Nope.
Somebody was
Best
telling me.
change that you ever made.
Yeah, I love
So
that.
the good thing is we're back to division matchups again. So
Yes.
that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be
So
fun.
for division
I
races.
love that at the end of the regular season. That's my favorite part.
I
Well done, Zach.
in another league in JV, I was talking to Ash because there's no trade deadline there. And I said, hey, when you get knocked out of playoffs, could you trade me Justin Herbert?
Bad chance.
He didn't think it was very funny.
That's great shit talk, though. That's a great shit talk.
I was like, hey, shoot your shot. So yeah, that's the third. Not a whole lot. We can move on to the next.
Okay. Good deal. How about Zachary in NFL?
I gotta
You
get
can
in.
shoot over there.
Have to.
I mean, you pay me enough money, I can find a reason to get rid of somebody.
All right, I'll send you a DM.
Dude, I'm waiting for Braxton to get into JB, but dang, we have had I don't even know no attrition in JB.
I don't see I don't see very much in JB ever happening as far as new or people leaving.
I reached out to Nilo just to kind of check in on him. I haven't heard from him, and
What the hell?
I brought him in years ago, and he what happened?
I'm just looking at these trades. Holy crap!
Oh.
Who are the Bills?
Jason.
But I reached out to
Jason
Nilo
W.
to
or
see
the
if he
other
wanted to
Jason?
stay in the league, and he said, yeah, he's also getting married next week. So
Congratulations.
yeah,
Nice
congrats
work,
on the
Nilo.
nuptials.
What'd you say,
Attaway.
Nilo?
Nice nups, tight nups.
Congrats.
Mhm.
So
yeah, he's staying in, and he's the least active one. So
Who are the Raiders, Jay?
no, Raiders
That's
are Cole.
Oh, it's not.
Jay-
not a
Jason
Michael Mayer
is-
trade.
The Bills. Braxton is the Patriots.
Jason
Mhm.
K or
Jason W.
Jason me.
Jay, you did.
Oh wait, Jason W is the Bills. Okay.
Been making some moves.
What are you
Getting serious.
You gave up Michael Mayer. What are you doing?
You gave up Jefferson.
He gave up Justin Jefferson.
You gave up Michael Mayer and you got Rashad White and a second.
And you paid a first and second for T. Higgins.
So somebody's finally a Rashad White believer.
No, it's not true. He's just point scoring.
No, I'm not. I don't even believe he's a starting running back next
Oh my
year.
gosh.
Oh my man.
Oh my goodness.
Speaking my language.
Oh my goodness, what part?
That you don't think he's going to be a starter next year.
I just have no faith that his type will, third round pick is what I do like about him.
He could be
That's usually where starters land in the third round, solid running backs, but he hasn't shown me much. But the last few weeks, obviously you'll see by the numbers, he's shown me that they want to throw him the ball. So I was trying to find a way to get. I mean, if you notice my running backs, I have Royce Freeman, Antonio Gibson, Alexander Madison, Jerick McKinnon, and so I had to buy someone. I'm also right on the cusp of
running back one.
Yeah,
You-
I'm on the
I
cusp
think this
of
trade
getting
won you the
kicked.
week.
Yeah, probably.
The trade won me the week. There was a couple trade. I mean, and T. Higgins, I ended up getting that, and that was a big win for me. I don't know if he'll put up those numbers again, but I'll just briefly go over, the trades. So I gave up Jefferson and a third for Tyreek Hill and Achan. For me, through next year, Tyreek is my wide receiver one. So I felt like if I can get him to play 15 to 17 games, I feel like that's a good 1-for-1 through next year. With
This
almost
trade- It's
What's
10
that?
times better than the trade you made last year with Chase for Waddle.
Oh,
well, Waddle was probably more valuable then when I traded. Not probably, he was more valuable then. I knew I was tearing down a tier or two, but then he was wide receiver 6 in Dynasty. Right now, he's nowhere near that, but I felt like it was fine, and I was super desperate. But
But you didn't.
Justin Jefferson, Justin Jefferson for Tyreek for me was, I felt like I was getting obviously the better player for right now with Achan thrown in. which he's obviously not a throw-in. But I will say this is why it makes sense for Braxton. If Tyreek gets a season-ending injury next year, his resale value is going to be very little at $59. So that's $59, and I don't know if I have to end up paying up next year. What is it? He's on a 2-year, so $59. If he goes down next year, I'm in big trouble with him and his salary. If I own Justin Jefferson next year and he goes down, his value doesn't change. So that's the big deal in Dynasty, where I'm sure what Braxton's thinking. So I really like that trade for me.
You
hang
will
on,
have
hang
to
on.
extend him next year.
I like it.
This offseason, you will have to extend him if you want more than
If
2
I
years.
want more than the 1 more year,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I'm sure I will. So then he's at 67, something like that.
65.
65. So $65. And if he goes through the full season, this trade was great. If he doesn't make it the full season and something happens, which hamstrings for speedsters are just implied, it's going to happen at some point, then that's a real big bummer. And Justin Jefferson probably would have been worth keeping. But Achane right now is obviously running back, I don't know, top 6 in Dynasty at the least. So I'm just hoping he doesn't get destroyed by a linebacker, which he got hit one time and it wasn't even very hard and he was out 4 games.
My quick take on it is that Tyreek Hill, I don't play around injuries. So for me, Tyreek Hill is a speedster, so they have a shorter lifespan, but he's like, what, 28, 29? He looks as good as he's ever been.
Mhm.
Justin Jefferson doesn't
29.
have a quarterback right now. Devon Achane is probably one of the more valuable running backs right now in the league. So I get it. If you're trying to make playoffs, this is a great trade.
Yeah, and I'm by the skin of my teeth, I'll make the last seed pretty much, or not even the last seed. I have to win my division, but everyone else better hustle as much as I do, or else I could come in a wild card team. But that's that one. I'm happy that Braxton got Jefferson back. I'm bummed that I had to give him up, and I felt desperate. But I reached out to Cole, see if I can get one of his running backs. This is the cheaper one. I
That
asked,
was cheap.
what he wanted, and he said Michael Mayer.
Is what is this? NFL?
It is. It's half
NFL
PPR.
another TAP?
No,
it's not tied in premium,
This is
so he
criminal.
stole.
This is a criminal trade. I can't believe
Yeah.
that's second on top.
Cole is a Raider fan.
I don't care.
I'm
That's
just
why he traded him. That's why he got
That's-
rid
So is Jay.
yeah, but Jay is a Raiders fan, but Jay, I don't feel like he.
You know what? If Michael Mayer said "suck my dick," he probably would. Jay, I mean.
But he doesn't roster players because they're on his favorite team. Like
He's a
That's
fantasy. He's
fair.
a fantasy fan.
He's agnostic as far
He's a
as not a
fantasy
homer.
fan.
I'll give him that.
I still have a
Yeah.
question.
sure.
So my hand's been up in the air for 17 minutes.
Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
hey,
So
we're
polite.
not in
Yeah,
school.
he
Just
fucking
speak up.
Must be a teacher.
Sorry, my bad. That was on me. Okay, so I'm confused here, and maybe the fellows, you guys like this Tyreek and Devon Achane,
Mhm.
Achane, whatever. We're still viewing Achane as like people are viewing him as an elite ball carrier.
No.
He's a weapon. I would
Yeah.
only call him a weapon. He's
We just-
nothing.
we
He's
just-
everything.
So,
We just
This is-
consensus
this is-
called him one of the best running backs in the game right now.
all right,
Guys
here's
just said
ready,
that.
Pickle. Here's my soundbite clip for the week. He's
Archetype.
100% a schemed player. So
Explain.
let's say like the Packers offense or like even the fucking Lions offense, he's probably nothing. But in the
He's a
in the
perfect flex.
Dolphins offense, he is the perfect running back. Like he's Raheem Mostert, but 8 years younger. Like bar for bar. Like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and even whoever the fuck their tight end is, are opening the lanes so much because they're the fastest wide receivers in the entire league and they're good at route running, right? So all Devon Achane has to do is just pick the biggest gap and then he runs for 50 yards. That's why he's so valuable. And he's prone to injury because he's a smaller guy and he's a speedster. So yeah.
He's probably the most explosive in the backfield of any backfield, right? He's the most explosive. I don't even know what to call him. That's right. He's just the most explosive in any backfield.
I think Jahmyr Gibbs can give him a run for his money, but yeah, he's top
probably
3 at worst.
Younger
Okay.
Eckler.
So
Kind
then
of like when Eckler.
Yeah, but Eckler never had that
Yeah.
speed either.
my next
Yeah,
question,
he was pretty good.
Jay, you're making this trade to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I wouldn't make this trade only to make the playoffs. I feel like I'm
So
getting
you've
the
made-
wide receiver 1 for next year. But
I
yes,
agree.
yes,
I can agree with
and
that.
Have you've made the playoffs already?
No.
no,
Okay.
not
He's
even
close.
close.
He needs to win
So-
his division.
So if I'm you, Jay, I wait till after week 10 to make this trade because you just lost Justin
What's
Jefferson's
up?
points and got 2 guys on bye.
Rose and the dad.
What up, Mike Ramos?
Uh,
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So can
But
can you explain to me why you would give up
Here's-
on Justin Jefferson points with nothing in return for
He's
one
on
week?
the
when you
edge
have
right
to
now. So he's not making just that trade. He's making all 3 trades, right? Like you don't.
just
don't
so
make-
you know, real quick, Jay is currently 5th best PP.
Okay.
So if he doesn't make the playoffs, his pick is number 10.
Did he
Okay.
win the doubleheader?
Well, he didn't
No.
trade any
No?
super
That's too bad.
valuable picks.
But
Like,
I beat Zach, who was undefeated. That was the thing. So
You
pickle.
fucker.
I was going against
Let's
the
hear more
only
about that.
undefeated team in the league.
His trades
And-
won him this
and-
game, which potentially gave him his playoff berth.
So I'll just paint the picture real quick. I already lost my doubleheader because I already lost the 2 games of 3.
Okay.
So I lost my
You knew
doubleheader.
already, You knew already.
I was going against the best team in the whole league.
Okay.
And Carmen, who's in first, already won his doubleheader. So I figured Justin Jefferson, he's one of the best assets in fantasy football, not because of only his production, but because of his resale value. Even now, he's out for 6 weeks, maybe, or 4 to 6
Could be
weeks.
like 90
His
bucks and he'd
resale
still be
value is
sellable.
outstanding.
Yep.
All that to say, I was okay pivoting off of him for my wide receiver 1, Tyreek Hill, through next year. Not necessarily dynasty, like a hybrid dynasty.
I can't argue with that.
Wide
I
receiver
don't-
1.
I don't see a problem with that.
Plus, I have no running backs. Now I'm hoping to get Achane back in 2 weeks. So now I got my wide receiver 1 through next year, and I got a running back.
Oh, you have CD Lamb too. My
Can,
goodness.
Zach, can you click H-Chan real quick?
Yeah, so
I
look
want
at
to see
my
what the
team.
injury is. I forgot what the injury was.
My team, I got Burrow.
Ah, fuck.
You can click
Oh,
on
it's
the
a
link
knee?
there.
But it's not an ACL. Did they sprain it or something? Maybe. I don't know. I think he'll be fine if they put him on IR.
Yeah, he'll be
Who?
back week 11.
Yeah,
He'll
they're
be
coming
back
back.
week
They're
11.
just letting him ride out.
He's
out
running
by.
too. He
That was
said
effective.
he's-
He can't come back until week 12,
Oh, okay.
right? When did
No,
he go on
no,
the IR?
11.
Oh shit.
11.
Week
Wait.
11.
He'll come back 11.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 4 weeks.
Was he IR in?
6, yeah. He went
Six?
straight
He has
to
to be
IR.
off 4 games. Yeah.
He went straight to
Okay.
IR.
So they gave him a
So-
5-week IR then. Yeah, he'll be fine.
So that's why I mentioned Pickle. If there's a season-ending injury, that's the only way next year, Tyreek. That's the only way I feel I didn't do well with this trade. If I don't get Tyreek next year, but right now my team is pretty solid,
What's
right?
your-
I mean, I got
You went
Burrow.
from not making the playoffs to probably making the playoffs
I'm-
with
Mhm.
your
not-
trades.
I'm
1 QB.
Mm,
Plus-
Christ, Freeman.
so I basically countered myself with,
Look at
and then
this.
I wanted
No, I like
one more
this. I like
asset.
this.
I wanted
That's
one
fine.
more asset. So with Braxton, I went back to Braxton, and
yeah, running back.
just out of nowhere, I sent him. I countered myself. I was going to send him a first, but then I just wanted to make it easy. I sent him a first and second. The second I got back from Cole, sent a first and
Playoffs.
second, and he said easy, accept. He's going to re-roll the dice on that first that he'll get, even if it's 110. He'll get
Yeah.
another wide receiver prospect and a second round pick, maybe the 110 and 210. Hopefully, it's better
I
than
like
that. I mean,
quick
worse
standings.
than that.
I like the other 2 trades where you get T. Higgins and you get Rashad White. I think those are pretty good. I hear what you're saying about Tyreek. Justin Jefferson's got to be your wide receiver 2 for next year, right?
Did you win that
Yes,
head-to-head
but-
with the Dolphins?
Like
he
like the
he needed Tyreek now
Hmm.
if he wants to make the playoffs.
Yeah, that was huge
right,
that
but
he
you're
beat
not
you.
going to have him week 10.
Yeah,
Jay,
anyway.
did you beat the Dolphins in your first matchup?
I don't think
No,
so.
he lost all 3.
I know.
Oh, yo,
He has-
I don't
he
know
has
if you're gonna win
Burrow.
this division, man.
He has he has Burrow, which is part of why he started out.
Which team are you, Braxton?
He's
Braxton's New
Braxton's
England.
Patriots.
He sold me Tyreek Achan, and Higgins.
So I had
And he said,
I-
and Higgins lost him the week, which I don't know. Some Braxton and I, we go way back, so I don't know if we don't tell each other the full everything every trade. So I don't know if he's still kind of competing, which he may as well. But
no.
he said lost
there's
me
no
the week
competing
too.
for
So
him.
with that comment, it
I didn't think so either. But
sound like he was
5
like
and
kinda
7's not
hoping.
competing.
What
He
did
was-
you say,
well,
Kyle?
So he was 5 and 6 or 5 and 5, right? So he might have been like, maybe I'll compete, but too good of an offer to pass up. He's definitely not competing now because he's in 3rd place and he's a game behind you.
No, he's
Yeah.
not.
So I'm hoping
he
he's
wasn't
seeing that
competing.
as bettering
No.
his pick.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh.
hoping that's
Better
what he's saying.
it should be.
And I had Jason losing to me. I mean, I did not see Kelsey only putting up 2 points, and
Nice.
and
Better-
the trades that he made. So
Oh, I saw
not
it.
being down 2 games kept him in this race. If he beats, like, he could, in theory, just sweep through his division these next 3 weeks.
And I could arguably have enough to make wild card, even if everyone doesn't keep up. I could maybe even make the wild card if I don't make the if I don't win my division. But I have to win the division pretty
I
much.
don't know, man.
Wild
You
card's
have
gonna
to
be
make
hard.
a lot of ground because if you don't have the doubleheader, because you're down
I
on
know.
division record, so you're not going to beat him on that.
I know.
No, he has to
But I
pass
mean,
him in the
injuries.
game.
We have what, 4 more weeks, right? And injuries
Oh.
can take a super team and just destroy them. And Carmen doesn't trade all that much. Most people just don't trade. They just succumb to how it plays
Whatever
out.
it is, yeah.
He does not try. I've been in his ear all year in multiple leagues, and he just
You send
He
shit
chose.
offers.
I
Yeah.
get trades
That's
done.
Like
really
Cam
funny
Akers
because we've
for
made
9
multiple
years.
trades this year.
You and
So-
Carmen?
I hear-
No, me and Zach.
So
he
like
sent
it's
shit
just
offers.
he's one of those that like he'll just go with whatever happens. Like he doesn't want to give up his players,
Doesn't
his
wanna
good
give up shit.
players, unless he's getting one hell of a deal, or he'll just write it out. And I mean, Carmen has had success in these leagues, so
No, he's got a great team too. It's going to be tough, but Braxton, I hope I hope Jefferson does well for you, man.
So before we move on, can one of you guys go in and approve a trade
Hell yeah.
league.
What is
Talk
it?
about it.
Where is it?
in GA?
we'll do
Ooh,
GA
fun.
next.
Do you
We'll
want to
move
do
on to
GA
GA.
next?
Yeah, I'm good.
He wanted to go
Okay.
3rd or 4th.
2 trades.
Was this the one that Jason hated? No, it was SF2.
You don't have to share your screen while you approve these.
I mean, you're all going to see it
Oh.
anyway.
Are we done with
these are
NFL?
both
Or we
fine.
Yeah,
did
we're
you
done with
want
the
to see?
NFL. We
Okay.
stayed on NFL a little too long.
Okay.
Los Angeles.
Well, we weren't really talking about NFL. We were talking about players, so I get it.
I
McBride's
guess it's
Taxi.
McBride's Taxi, yeah.
Hold on, and then is this you? You already picked. All right, that's Chicago. That's not your pick.
Okay, this is more in line with what I would expect Rashad White to be worth right now.
GA 24.
Oh yeah. I mean that was
He's a-
cheap.
He's
He got
running
him cheap.
back. He's
Yeah.
running back 11 right now. I don't know why.
Wait, what's
It's
happening?
insane to me.
Like he's
We're
Obviously,
saying that this is more what Rashad White should go for than what you got him for.
you got him
in
for dirt cheap.
NFL.
I think Cole does have a soft spot for me. So Cole, I will say thanks for the love. I
Yeah,
appreciate
he does.
Yeah. Well, I have a hard.
Well,
spot for him.
they're Raiders fans together.
Bro, I got you.
Dude, Adrian's the only person hearing any of my jokes. I swear. I'm saying
Sorry.
things and Adrian's laughing and it's going right over everyone else's head.
I just gotta tune you out because your projections were so.
it. So what was it? What was the trade?
I'm here for
Hold on, let me go back to the.
Adrian.
it
Let me
was
go to
Jared
the
Judy and a 24 first for Rashad White, trade McBride, and a 3rd, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Oh, who was that with? Damn.
As
we got a
Earl.
lot of trades
My
here.
buddy
So
Earl.
let's back it up.
Okay, back it up.
Let's start with this one. Who has GA?
Okay, I have GA.
Okay.
So this was with Earl and Jason K. So Jason K needed a quarterback because Fields was hurt and I think Purdy was on a bye. So he traded. This is early in the week, so he traded he gave up Trubisky. Yeah, Slayton a 3rd or 2/3 for Jimmy Garoppolo. who didn't even start.
Well, no, so you gotta back it up a little bit. Jason sent this out on, say, Monday or something like that. Forgot he sent it out, and then the next day, Jimmy Garoppolo was benched, and he doesn't go in and retract the trade.
And this kid wonders why I make fun of him all the time.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
that was funny.
All right, let's move
next
on.
one.
Jay.
Next
Number
one we
6.
have. So next one was with Braxton and Roy. So Braxton had Cousins, so Cousins got hurt, so he needed a quarterback bad too. So we got Tua, Singletary, and George Kittle, and he gave up Tannehill, Bateman, Pitts, a second, and a 25 first. 24 second and a 25 first.
That's a lot for Tua. Pitts a
Yeah,
first
but
and a second.
he's desperate because he is, and we'll show when we go to the standings, you'll kind of see why. So he's at the top of the division, and he needs to stay there.
He got a great quarterback. I just think he slightly overpaid.
George Kittle.
You have
is the
to
most underrated tight end in the entire.
you have
of the
to
league.
overpay
Yes.
for top end quarterbacks in these leagues, especially the 16-team leagues.
Where
Especially
do
if
you
you're
think?
competing.
Where do you think Braxton overpaid? Like where does that line up?
I think the
How much would you pay for Tua
Pitt-
in a
like,
16-team
if you
league?
got rid of Pitts and Kittle. That's where I think the overpay is.
No, it's a swap. It's pitch for
I know.
Kittle.
I'm saying get rid of that. He doesn't give up Pitts, and he doesn't get Kittle or whatever.
I think
Why-
Kittle's
like-
more
Like I
valuable
think
right
you
now.
get rid of those two players. That's a square trade.
Yeah.
Well, he couldn't be the 49ers without having Kittle.
Well,
He had to.
I just think giving up Pitts,
Joke.
a first and a second. I mean,
I'm
he
gonna
got I'm saying he got Tua, but like George Kittle is not. He's not startable. Almost, he has like blow up weeks. He's like the
He
Gabe
was tight
Davis.
end 1 last week.
Kittle's not startable?
He's like the Gabe Davis of tight ends.
Dude,
Don't
Just remember,
stop,
did you
stop.
Look at him.
We
Stop
talked
it.
no, hey, Mitch,
Look
we
at him.
talked about this several weeks ago about tight ends.
Fucking God.
And I mentioned Kittle and Andrews. And we go back and look at their they were the number 2 and number 3 tight end last year. And you go back and look at their score sheet, they had weeks where they were hurt,
Yeah,
had
like,
little production, but they blew up. They won you weeks. That's why you trade for these guys.
they do, but I
I
think
take it
to
back.
me,
He was tight end 3 in week 8.
like a
Dumbass.
guy like Kittle is a guy like Davis. You want him, you want to start him, but he can put up 1 point, and he will do
But
that.
he'll
He'll do that
is
3
a-
times a year. He might win you
Bad
2
take.
weeks, but he'll lose you.
Bad
That's
take.
Well,
many tight ends.
like
it's
saying
Many,
Brock Purdy's
many
ti-
tight ends put
quarterback
up
1.
1 to 4 points a week.
I'm just saying it's not.
No.
this
I
is probably
think it's a
it was
slight
probably a salary thing too. I mean, this is motivated
Could
by
be.
salary as well.
George
sure.
Kittle on the season with
Right.
a bye is tight end 5.
Yep.
Go fuck yourself, Pitbull.
He's had 4. He's had 4. Half the time he's not even startable.
That is half of the top 10 tight ends.
This
Go-
is
like,
a
what-
good year.
When I have
Kelsey wasn't even startable every week. this year.
I have been needing a tight end,
2
trying to
weeks.
find a tight end that was good, and I go back and look at all the available tight ends. And you got Cole Kmet. He's got 4 weeks that he's done something great, and then he's been shit every other week. But he's still
It's actually
like
an
number
improvement from
7.
previous years.
You've got
Mhm.
I mean, there's so many of these guys that they're up there in the rankings, but you look at their score sheet and they have 3 or 4 or 5 good weeks, and that's it.
I'm still saying he literally wasn't startable 4 weeks. I know it's because I've had him. I love George Kittle. He's my favorite player in the NFL. Like,
No, he's not.
yeah, he is.
No, he's not.
He's the first jersey I ever got was George Kittle.
Who says
And-
that?
and
Well, it
you look
sounds
at-
like that was a mistake.
You look at tight ends across
No,
the
he's
board.
not.
Okay,
Stupid.
All right, we're looking at him right now.
I know. I'm saying
Hey,
as a general rule, like
Nichols
as
talked about
as
Brock Purdy for like 8 weeks straight. You're telling me that George Kittle's his favorite player?
you can ask anybody I know.
God dang, I love
I'll say
Purdy.
it's Justin Herbert or George Kittle. Wants to. But
Bro.
I'm saying
I would have
like,
said
tight ends-
Herbert.
Tight ends across the board, like they can sneak into the top 5 with 1 boom week. Happened to Evan Ingram last year. He had 1 great week. All of a sudden, he's a top 5 tight end. He's not
He's-
startable for 80% of the year.
He's
And
Here's
tight end
here's
6 this year.
I know. I'm
Here's-
saying you're not. saying
I'm
at
with
the
you,
end-
Pickle.
saying at the end of
Pickle.
last year, I would just love it if I could talk.
Wait,
Look at
I'm-
Kyle Pitts.
Wait, this is
You-
not what I'm seeing. What?
Hey, Pickle, can I say something real quick?
Is the scoring different for SF2 versus GA?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's different in
Slightly.
32 and GA.
Okay.
Well, 32 is
Pickle,
premium.
real quick. I'm with you. I devalue tight ends the deeper the league is. So 12 team, they're fine. 14 team, less valuable, less important. 16 team, even lesser important, right? Even less important. But Braxton and I were talking about something the other day. If you want to win these leagues, you're going to have to do what hurts. You're going to have to trade the sexy name. You're going to have to buy a dude like Adrian did, Adam Thielen. You're going to have to do whatever it takes. You're going to have to sell a guy named Kyle Pitts for an inconsistent but boom at
Kyle
any
Pitts, I like.
given week. Like
He's
Kittle.
the number 16 tight end of the year.
I'm
Hey,
not.
listen.
I'm not saying. Don't hear. You guys
no
aren't hearing what
one's-
I'm not saying.
No one's super pumped to go into the week with Kittle. You're just praying, right?
And
No,
how are
I'm
you?
not.
How are
I
you
should
that
say
much
I'm
more
not.
pumped to go in the week with Pitts?
That's why he's dealt him. That's why he
But-
sold
but-
No,
him.
no, we're talking to Pickle. We're asking Pickle.
Mitch is saying
Oh.
he doesn't.
Oh.
He wouldn't trade Pitts for. The overpay is Pitts for Kittle. That's what he's saying the overpay is.
In
of the-
effect, for me,
Oh.
Kyle Pitts is unstartable this year because Arthur Smith
He's
does
actually
not know what
he's
doing.
actually scored more points than Kittle in different games. I'm not saying
In
he scored
what
more points.
format?
I'm no. Listen. I'm saying like game per game. If you go week to week, Kyle Pitts has actually scored more points than Kittle. If you look at the 9 weeks of the season, Kyle
Week
Pitts,
one,
Are you looking at the screen?
week
yeah.
one is
No,
Pitts.
I'm looking at my
Week-
screen.
Okay.
Week
No,
one
look
is
at the
Pitts.
screen.
Yeah, I have the same screen up. Sorry.
Week two is Kittle.
Which is embarrassing, by the
Week
way.
three is Kittle. So we're 2-1 Kittle.
Yep. Week 4 is Pitts.
2-2. Now we're Kittle 3-2, 3-3, 4-3, 5-3 bye week. 5-3
Okay, so
Kittle
four out of the
over.
5 to 4. Because
No,
you got 9 weeks. You can't start Kittle week at 9. You got to include that.
no,
But
you
I'm,
don't
what I'm
include
saying,
it
what I'm saying is
because the bye week to bye week is you don't
Yeah, it
include
evens out.
the bye week.
it will even out eventually. I'm saying like you look at tight ends. I understand what you're saying. You got to overpay to get your guy. I'm not saying I wouldn't have done the trade. If I need Tua to be a playoff contending team, I'm probably making that trade too. I think it's a slight overpay because I think that just inflates Tua's value in a 16-team 1 QB league. Not saying it's a bad trade. I think it's a slight
Yeah.
overpay.
It-
I think
what-
when you
You're
look at
putting-
tight ends, when you look
He
at tight
needed
ends
it.
across the board,
Yeah.
like they are like
We
people
can-
if people make a big trade for a tight end, I think it's a mistake unless their name is Travis Kelce or TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah.
Like those are the only two guys. Right now, Sam Laporta looks amazing.
Yeah,
He's
fuck
been-
that guy.
He's
He's
been
terrible.
very consistent from what you're looking for at a tight end. If you're scoring more than 10 points with a tight end in a non-tight end premium, like that guy is really
Kind
good.
of like Schultz, right?
I'm still trading for
Freaking Schultz, dude. No one's trading
If
tight end one.
with the exception of Kelsey, if I get 8 points every week out of my tight end, I am ecstatic.
I'm not disappointed.
I'm trading for Kittle like he's a top 6 tight end still in redraft.
I don't know.
So let's get back to the trade because
But
it was
Kittle-
it could have been an overpay because he needed
Yeah,
a
Mark
quarterback.
Andrews too.
And slightly, I
So-
mean, like the other thing
Yeah,
is,
I
too,
know.
is you look at a guy like Kittle, he has scored 1 point twice this year. Like that's
Okay.
just not
Oh,
somebody.
okay, but
I understand.
let's-
I understand. I understand. A lot of people do that.
I think
understand all
we've
tight ends
talked
have
too
bad
much
weeks.
about this one
let's
trade.
think about the situation too. Debo Samuel affects George Kittle's target share. Go on to the next trade.
He got
Number 5.
I don't know about all of that, but
no. That's
we'll
not-
move on. We'll move on. Okay, so
How's
next
that?
one,
Whatever.
Hopkins in a second for Kendrick Bourne in a first. I don't get that one, but
What?
maybe. I mean, I know the Colts are trying to win, so Hopkins I think makes him a little bit better. He did need another receiver, so I'm not sure I would pay a first for Hopkins. Well, I guess he's getting a second back,
It's
so
a swap. He thinks
it's
he's
all
gonna
right.
be
Yeah.
It's
better
all
than
right.
he is.
It's all right. Yeah, the
It's
more that I
fine,
look at
moving
it,
on.
it's okay.
And the Jets, I believe, is a late first.
Okay.
Yes.
So
yes.
it's to swap up like a few rounds or a few
Oh,
picks or
let's
whatever.
look real fast.
Cincinnati Bengals is, I think, a late second
I
as
thought
well.
the Bengals was an early. Oh no, okay, it
Yeah, it's
is.
a late one too.
Yeah, so they're both late picks. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's trading down to get Hopkins.
Hey, but he's making moves, so that's
Yep.
good. I mean, he needed another receiver, so that helped him. And then the next one is between the two guys on this pod, so Jason Williams and Kyle. So Kyle made a good return, I guess, on his investment.
Huge overpay for a tight end here.
Yeah, we talked
Yeah.
about it for
That's
like
what
a
I'm
week.
saying.
So we gave up 2 seconds and a first for Kincaid.
We actually had this conversation. So it's 202 right now and 216, and then I have whatever the first ends up being.
You talked about it. Good deal. I mean, go get your guy, right?
Yeah, I actually had to spend an entire day thinking about it because I love
I'm
Kincaid.
kind of surprised you gave up Kincaid, but
And see, that's kind of what it is, right? I didn't even really want Kincaid. It was more just I needed a body, and
Right.
I reached out to everyone, and I couldn't get anyone. I was trying to get freaking Hawkinson for Freiermuth in a second, and Freiermuth's like $9, and Earl's an a-hole. I love you, Earl, but jeepers, Freiermuth.
Love you, Earl, but you're an
and he
asshole.
wouldn't give me Hawkinson, and Hawkinson's like $29.
I tried to
So
get
then
Cole Kmet
I
in one
wouldn't give
league,
up-
and they
I
wanted a
wouldn't give up.
second-round pick for him.
We had this. Okay, we'll talk about this later. In GA, Adrian wanted Kate Otten, and I asked for a
and he
second.
and the owner still won't answer me for some
Hey,
reason.
See, and so that's kind of what it is. So
Hey, but that's okay.
I-
I don't need you
if
anymore.
Yeah,
he
fucking.
didn't have a 24 first, if I offered him a 25 first, he's gonna be like, no, it's not worth it. I just paid a first.
Okay, so hold on, just real
Kincaid.
sidebar. Sidebar. Me personally, as an owner, I'm low key really high on 25s, and it's because I think
Thank
everyone
God.
thinks their team's gonna be better than it is in 25.
That's 2 years
Mhm.
away.
We
And
all know
I'm
we
with you.
more or less know what our 24s are gonna be, but no one knows what 25s are gonna be. I bet you.
Hey, I'll
five-
say this. It was even worse. Dickhead sent me the trade.
Which one of them is dickhead?
That could be anyone.
Kyle.
It's me,
Okay,
it's me.
Adrian.
But also,
prick.
Jay's
I
an
forgot
idiot.
about this
I'm
part.
a dickhead, but he's an
Hey.
idiot.
Hey,
So
let me say something. Hey, first of all, hey, he sent me the trade, and I'm doing so. I'm driving, and I'm on my phone, and I hit accept, but I hit reject.
He did not. He did
So
not.
I
hit
said,
accept.
"Hey, buddy," and I knew this fucking guy. I swear to. I told my wife. I said, "Watch, I'm sending it back to him, and he's gonna fuck with me." I
He
send
said
it back,
that,
and he's
but-
like, "What did he say?" He said something like, "All cons." I said,
just
"Hey,
looked
bro,
at the
I
pic. I was like,
accidentally.
I sent
Hey,
it out of
you shut your
anger.
fat mouth." I said, "Hey, I'm gonna send it back to you. I like the trade. I'll do it." He said, "I'll consider it." I'll consider it. I don't.
So,
He
what
sent it to
really
me.
happened is I was going to accept it when he sent it back.
I
except
know the
one-
feeling, Kyle.
So
I know the
he
feeling.
was so ready to
You
accept
did
it. Like
too.
he was like, I would have accepted it. I did it on accident. And for maybe 2 seconds, I said to myself, this guy is going to reject it again after I send it. But then I realized that wasn't the case. So I sent 2 firsts to every team on my side of that league, and no one accepted. And then I accepted the trade.
You
I
send
thought it was
to me.
and I told him, I said,
Don't-
"Listen, I'm willing to overpay. I'm desperate." That's when you
Hey,
take advantage of people
And
when they're
This is
desperate.
the worst. fucking
As
team I've
an
ever run.
example of Jason hitting the wrong thing,
This guy.
do not accept or reject trades via your email at all. Don't do it. Because when you hit accept and you didn't mean to, too bad. It's going through.
What
Go
about
into
when
the
you
league.
rejected on accident?
But we
Oh, you're saying on the computer it double checks if you
no
want
on
it?
your phone.
on your browser.
When
You're
you are
saying,
in the
though-
email, you got it in the email.
No, I'm following you.
Somebody
You're
said
saying
you hit-
don't do that because do it on
not
your
use
computer.
your email.
Do it on the computer because it double checks if you want to
But
really
you-
accept
or
or really reject.
Go into a browser, but don't do it on your if you click your team on the email and not the accept or reject, it will take you into the league where you
I
in the
know.
browser and you can
You
accept
can
or
hit
reject.
consider too. But listen, freaking Kyle, he's a wild card. He'll send something, he'll just he'll rescind it. So I didn't want him to. Plus, it's Kincaid, and this is Kyle. I knew I had to. I hurried
I
up,
love
dude.
the cage.
I was driving. I would have crashed my car to accept it if I had to. But I told him this isn't overpay. I'm willing to overpay. Let me overpay. I'll consider it. This fucking guy. I couldn't believe he said that.
So,
What a stinker. All right, next
Number
one.
3.
the next one's my most depressing trade of this week. It's because I'm up against Braxton this week, and I was excited because he doesn't have a quarterback, which I knew he probably would.
Oh
Yep.
no.
But so now he gets Joshua Dobbs and gives up a third and a second, and I have no shot this week.
Hey, and this is how you do it. No one wants to spend a
And this
second
isn't
for
overpay
Dobbs.
for Dobbs, but
Hell yeah.
you
This
have
was
to do it.
before Josh Dobbs
Good.
was the starter, I think.
Good job, Braxton. Hey, you do what it takes, bro.
Yeah, Dobbs is
Oh,
going to
no,
start.
it was today. It
He
was
looked
today.
good last game. He gave him 30-something points. So
He
Yeah.
looked.
There are so many owners that would not make this trade because Joshua Dobbs is probably not startable next year. He's
You
a
gotta
this year
do it.
only thing.
he's not.
Hey, just
Right,
real
you're
quick,
right.
shout out to Roy. Roy would make this trade because love you, Roy.
So once he did that, I was like, I gotta make a move. I gotta do something. So this is when I was talking with Earl, and I love dealing with Earl.
Do
You know,
you?
He's a good. He's a good guy.
Hey, no, I like him, but
Yeah,
he's
Well,
a wild
yeah.
card.
He can
He
be hard to
is.
deal with sometimes.
he
He
can be.
is.
There's plenty of times where we've tried to work something out and it just wouldn't work. So finally, we got something done. I had to give up a first, so I gave up Judy in a first and got Rashad White, McBride because Waller's out. I needed a tight end that I could
Yeah.
know would give me some points, and then I got a third back. So
Hey, McBride had 26 points. I'd trade 2 firsts for him.
Yeah.
Got to get
That was
those
a
boom
dick.
bust guys to win leagues. Take
So-
Hey, I want to.
So this is
two-
going to help me a little
Sure.
bit this week up against Braxton, even though I don't think I have a shot, but it's going to help. It'll make it a little more interesting for sure.
I want to say 2 quick things. Adrian, love it, bro. You're 6-6. You're trying to. I mean, they're 8-4, 2 8-4s in front of you, right? You're in 3rd place in your division. 2 8-4s in front of you. You're 6-6. You're hustling. Good job. I
Adrian
love to see it.
never goes down without
Nope.
a fight.
I love it. Also, I'll say this about Earl. Earl, one of the most active traders. I'm sure I drive some people crazy with trades. He drives me a little bonkers just with Hawkinson, but he and I have traded a lot. So I'm going to give him a little bit of love. He's solid.
And he's come along. I think he's doing a lot more trades this past year.
He had a
that
bunch in SF
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Also,
Dude.
Yeah.
I will tell you right now, Earl, when he has become so much better than he used to be. And I don't know
Yeah.
if that's just because he was too busy in his life or he just is getting better. But he's gotten so much better than he used to be.
and you know what it takes? It takes trading and activity and doing, and you know what? Failing, right? I had to fail so many times and get ridiculed.
And
in
that could
chat.
have that could have been part of the problem is he made some really bad trades early on and he kind of might have gotten a little trade shy. And so
And I think trading with maybe any one of us may be a little bit intimidating because we put up with W's, right? So,
Very
and we're on this
polarizing.
show. Well, and I think that we are trading for this player because it's a winning trade. So they think if we're making an offer, and they might not want to get put on blast.
I would
but
say
I'll send a. I lost some of these trades too that I made, and I felt like I had to do it.
I would say what you said there about not wanting to trade because like this happened to me, especially I made a lot of really, really bad moves. And then people like started sending me trades. So like Jay or Ash or Adrian would send me trades and I would be like basically auto reject because I was like, the only way they'd send this trade is if they thought I was just getting absolutely like railed. So like, I can't do this trade. I'm not going to trade with these people because they won't give me a fair deal. But like, that's not really true.
Yeah,
no,
this was
it
good
can
for
be a
Roy, too.
perception.
Yeah.
The perception is maybe like, oh, this guy's really active, so he makes a lot of good moves. And
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with
not,
you.
not necessarily true.
And this is good for
so
Roy
that's-
too because
that's a
he's
good point.
rebuilding. He's rebuilding in this 24 first. It's probably going to be a mid first, and then Judy a young player, so I think it helps him as well too for next year.
Can I do a
Nice.
sidebar question here about picks? So we had said back to that Lions and Niners trade, Josh Dobbs for a third and a second. Okay. Now, if you're competing, right, you're making that trade for Dobbs. I don't think that's overpaying. Anything outside of the top 7 to 16 picks is a total dart throw.
Yes, but you're
But it's a one-year
you're
rental.
paying a second and a third
Or
for
half a year
a
rental.
1 year rental or half a year
Right.
rental.
But you're trying to win.
Yes,
right?
But
and-
it's
and-
not.
But like
what I was
so-
saying, there's so many owners that would not because it's an overpay still. So many owners that would not
Big time.
overpay and make this move
Mhm.
because it's a 1 year rental.
what I'm
And
like,
people are overvaluing their picks in this situation.
so that's what I'm kind of suggesting is like a 25 second. I mean, a 24 third is like this is nothing. Like
Right.
maybe you get Puka Nacua who falls to the third round, or a couple years ago it was Elijah Mitchell who was really hot for half a season, and you could pick him up. You could almost pick him off waivers. But most of those guys you're dropping in 2 years off of your taxi squad. So like I'll happily trade away a player I'll probably never use, or 2 players I'll probably never use for a guy that's going to help me win right now. I don't like to me. I don't think that's an overpay because that's too like
Here's
for
so
a guy that's like actually playing well
But-
right now.
But
it's deeper. Well, just one sec. It's deeper than just this trade, though, Pickle. What it is, it's more of an overpay because instead of deploying that second and third for someone who's going to start tomorrow or next year, you're spending that on someone who's just a rental. He's not going to Geno it more than likely, right? He's not getting a contract next year. He could, he won't probably. So what you're doing is in lieu of spending that to upgrade, maybe tack onto a player and then add for someone who's going to play next year. That's why it's more of an overpay because you're not getting someone who's going to be playing next year.
But if your goal is to win,
yes, but it's still an overpay.
Sorry, I like maybe I don't know.
It-
I don't know.
it-
If you win the league,
I make this move.
I would too.
100% on board with this, but it's still an overpay.
Oh yeah.
You're overpaying for a guy that you would never pay this much for in almost any other situation because he's going to help get you to that playoff
Mhm.
run because of your needs and you're competing.
Yeah.
That's why you make this move, but it's still an overpay. And there are a lot of owners that wouldn't do this because
Oh yeah.
they just can't grasp the concept of
I just
doing
feel like
something like
I
this.
feel like
If
it's a
he was-
no-brainer. I feel like it's a
Well,
no-brainer.
if he was a backup,
then you're
right.
one up on most, Pickle.
Yes.
To
Yeah.
count it as a compliment to yourself.
if he was a backup this year, you wouldn't pay a second and a third for a backup
That's true.
quarterback.
Okay.
Right.
I
Yeah.
see.
So that's what he's
What-
going to be
what
next
Zach
year.
said
Is a
in any
backup.
other situation, you wouldn't do this. That made
Right.
that's what it clicked
Yeah.
for me. But
Yeah. No, I like it. It's good. It's a good move. And
Yeah.
more owners
That's
should
what
do
it-
stuff like this.
That's a winner's move right there. That's someone who gets he's right now in the lead or hanging on. He's right neck and neck with Mache, right? And he's like, I got to do whatever it takes. In this second and third, I can't add to I don't even know who else he has, but I can't add to whoever I need to upgrade. I got to just get a fill in.
Right.
All right.
So we got AFC. We got some close races. We got Ash with the Browns at 8-4. James with the Cincinnati Bengals, who just got a quarterback at 7-5, and also Wes at 7-5. So this is going to be a close race. It's now division rivals. So James is probably sitting the prettiest at 3-0 in his division, but it's going to be hard, I think, for Wes at 0-3 to win. I think any tiebreaker, if I'm not mistaken, right? Zach?
It's pretty much impossible for Wes unless Ash
he wins
and
out.
James just collapse.
Yeah, he would have to win out, and
Yes, he's gonna have
Yeah.
to win out and actually win the division, just straight up win the division, no tiebreakers.
And we
Yeah.
went over most of this last week.
Yeah.
We can just cruise through this or omit it. I don't even think we need to go through the standings at this point. Not in week 9. Not after last week's episode.
I was just saying because we just added the doubleheader, so that makes a world of difference in what the standings look like from last week to this week
Mhm.
because it's an extra two wins.
Makes sense.
So Yeah. So just got tough races. AFC East. We have Ryan and Joe going to battle it out, and then Zach and Tony are battling it out. I think for the division lead. NFC North is pretty much set. I think looks like. NFC South is pretty close race with Jason W. and
Nick.
Nick, yeah.
Nick. That's going to be a tight race. Jason W. Well, Nick has the 3-0 division record, but we're playing against divisions this week, so it's going to be interesting. And Roy can be a spoiler to one of those teams as well with this PF, so that's going to be fun.
He can.
I mean,
he did
he
just
can because
spell.
I just got fucking spoiled by Justin at 32.
Yeah. So, and the big one I wanted to talk about is the NFC East, because Jason K was at the top of the division talking about his one ring and all this stuff. And karma hit him hard because he's on a 2-game losing streak.
Did he win his
And-
doubleheader?
I don't know if he did or not.
He must not have. He lost 2 right there. It says 2 L's.
So the doubleheader doesn't show up there.
Yeah, it doesn't show in there.
Oh,
He was 6-3 in
good to
No,
know.
college.
it does.
No, the doubleheader does
No,
not show up in
not
these
the-
streaks.
Yeah,
in the streak.
Oh yeah. No, it does show up in the standings. He was
Yeah,
82
it
last
shows in the
week.
standings, not in the streaks.
He was
So
82
he
last week.
is Philly. He lost his doubleheader.
Yeah.
So he's lost 3 in
Oh.
a row.
Yeah.
He went from 8-1 to 8-4.
And
What's
he
his? So
played me-
he's.
he played me this
Oh.
last week, which I love to be the spoiler, but
Holy
of course he didn't have a quarterback, so that kind of helped out, I
Team.
think.
fucking sucks.
But and then of course, Braxton and Mache are battling it out for first. I don't have a shot at all unless a miracle happens, but hey, I'm trying.
You
Trying to
sure
play the
are.
Yeah,
spoiler
like
round, so
you. I mean, you're
I'm
so
gonna
far
make somebody
back
happy.
in even just the wild card race.
You're
Yeah.
crazy,
What do you think of that?
Adrian.
Huh.
I mean, I love the hustle, but you spent Judy and a first for Rashad White and Trey McBride.
They're
Hey,
future
yo, some
players.
people like Trey McBride. I'm just saying. Well, I'm one of them.
He scored.
Trey McBride is going to be the
Hey,
tight end of the future
they're-
for that team.
He's next year's Dallas Goddard.
Okay.
Been saying about.
I think.
I hope you're right about Rashad White.
I know. Yeah,
Maybe-
I
maybe
feel
I haven't-
strongly about Rashad White.
You don't?
I do. I feel strongly about him. I've
Oh,
been trying to buy him in everywhere I can
well,
because
good
I
to
know I can get him cheaper. Not as
Not
cheap as
anymore.
what
Not
you got
after
him.
everyone watches a pod.
Yeah. not
Oh,
as-
Adrian, you watch Rashad
Yeah,
White?
sure.
All right, let's crank
All
it
right,
up
so, hold
25%
on,
more.
Just real quick, people listen to me when I give hot takes. No one listens to Adrian, unless it's the same take as me. I'm just
Dude, Adrian, he's
Guys,
had
you
some
guys-
goodies. Adrian's had some gems.
I don't know. Geno Smith.
okay. Geno Smith
He's
is
still a starter.
hot.
Zach, Braxton has a question for you.
Yes, they've always been in these leagues.
Yep.
Yeah.
They used to
So
run
good.
differently. We
Was
used
that
to
it?
do real true double headers weeks 4 through 9 or whatever. But or no, it used to be 1 through 4 because when we first started the leagues, there's no bye weeks 1 through 3. And there weren't bye weeks the first few years of the leagues in week 4. It was like 5 through 10 was every bye week. Which is also why we started division games 1 through 3 and 10 through 12, because there weren't buys those week. And then, like 3 years or 4 years into it, they just says, "Hey, you know what? Weeks 3 to week freaking 12 at that point, we'll have bye weeks."
What are they
And
doing
kind
with
of
bye weeks, by the way?
threw in a thing. So Mike, so we had teams that were good teams, like Jason, like your team just had a rough start in NFL. Well, back in the day with the true double headers, you'd be 0-8. Your season's done after week 4. Like you are.
Oh, so is that why you got
done.
rid of it?
So I'm like, we need to keep. I want to keep the double headers, but we need to figure out a way that after week 4, people's seasons just aren't done. So I'm like, oh, let's do over a 3-week period per game, since we do 12 weeks, and we'll just do a best of 3 series, and we have to keep it off the books because we can't do it via the web page anymore. But so that kind of made it a little bit more even. You got a truer outcome for the most part for those games, rather than, you had a couple really bad weeks and now you're lost 2 games instead of just 1.
You could have just said yes to Braxton. Simple yes would have been.
Hey,
would have been great.
People love the history, right? You
Just
want to
kidding.
know?
Go to
So,
JB. yes,
yeah,
I
last
love
note,
it.
just,
Plus,
just to make you
I just
feel
like to
more
hear your
comfortable-
voice.
Just to make you feel more comfortable about Rashad White. Okay,
Yes,
they don't have anybody that's going to beat him out, right? They're not going
Right
to draft
now.
another running back.
not yet.
They're
Next,
probably not going to draft.
they're not going to
one.
draft another running back next year.
It's a weak year too.
Until they draft a
They have
Bijan.
other. They have other.
It is a weak year.
Help Bijan
We
next
do
year.
have that.
I know.
But they have other needs too. They're not going to draft a running back high. So he's going to be the starter next year, barring injury or something like that.
I hope
He's
you're
gonna be
right.
the man. So
Cole didn't have a tight end either to
So-
build with.
So Rashad White is in the same tier for me as this is going to be hot. Zamir White and Damian Pierce.
That's what I was afraid of. That's what I was trading.
Oh, that's
That's what I was
wanted.
thought.
Okay,
That's
so-
what I thought I was trading.
So here's what it is. I think Zamir White is way better than everyone else does, and I think Damian Pierce is okay. Now he's about where I think he is, but
no.
he was not a top 10 running back for me last
No.
year.
Adrian,
You guys are
That's
so
all.
brutal to Adrian.
Yeah.
No, it's,
You guys are so brutal.
Zamir White's a good running back. He's just not getting an opportunity because Josh Jacobs is way better.
Zamir White, Zeus was a very fun collegiate football player, but I don't know if it's just not translating because I'm sure they'd like to spell Jacobs, but
My best guess is that he's just not putting in the effort he needs to because he doesn't want to be a 2. He wants to be the 1, and it's not going to happen anymore.
Always a hot take when.
hey Braxton, you dick. I loved the explanation too, but this doesn't make it any
You're welcome,
funnier.
Brax. I'm always here. I'm here every week.
All right, JB, let's go, Jason.
I think he was talking about
Good
My
time.
explanation
Zachy's.
on the doubleheaders.
yeah.
Yeah, that. It's
All right, we got that's enough, Kyle. Minshew, you dirty flipping dog. I was trying to get Minshew, but you know what? Hey, you got paid, bro. I was gonna give a 25-second.
and I got a higher
more.
pick. I got a higher pick than yours.
Well,
What?
We'll see.
You
Well, I didn't
asshole.
have a 24.
I have a lot invested in your team sucking.
Yes, you do. But my team isn't sucking.
Is there any chance that Minshew gets a starting job next year?
Zero.
No.
But
Nope.
he's
He's like a
probably
dog.
the best backup in the league.
Dang it,
Like a
he's,
dog.
he's so good for the end of any NFL franchise. He's so good for that fan base.
Yeah.
He sells tickets. He's so fun, dude. Good job, Roy.
Context for the viewers: Roy is the Kirk Cousins owner in this league.
I would
Look at
love to
Roy's-
have Minshew as our backup.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think most people would.
I would love to have him as a starting quarterback for us.
He's probably I can't think of any other backup quarterback that people would buy the jersey for except for Gardner Minshew.
Oh,
People would
dude.
buy that jersey.
He is a Halloween costume. God, I want to be a Halloween
He's
costume.
I get it.
So Roy's doing what he takes, but hey, Zachy, good for us. Roy dropped 2 this week,
2
doubleheader,
games.
and he lost. That was a big deal for us. We needed that big time.
That was huge.
I on Sunday morning decided to reach out to
This is brutal for you.
Renee and ask for Goddard. She said, "What you got?" And I said, "How about Mayer?" She said, "Send it." I sent it. He put up a couple points. He broke his forearm. He's now doubtful. So that's that trade. Sucks for me.
I will say this is cheaper than I would expect for Dallas Goddard, so it's not the end of the world for you.
I would have said you got a good deal for Goddard.
Yeah.
I was super pumped, dude. I was very happy. I'm still happy.
I think
But-
Renee likes Michael Mayer.
Dude, he was my tight end 1 coming in before he was drafted. well, I mean, and that wasn't a very hot take, right? I mean, he was the most productive tight end in college, out of the field. And then
I
Was
thought
he, though?
Kincaid was more the census number one.
Yeah, and Laporta was a kind of a dark horse number 2 before
no,
the
I think
draft.
Michael Mayer.
Yeah, Laporta was like 3.
Bob was laughing.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm pretty sure it was Kincaid, Mayer, and Laporta.
Leading
Yeah.
up to the draft, a lot of the draft nicks were starting to say Laporta was going to go second.
All I know is I was basing it off production. So I'm not sure what the analysts were saying necessarily. I know a lot of the nerds were saying they were hoping Dallas was taking Mayer as the tight end 1 off the board. So I didn't really dig into it too much. I just know that Mayer was the most productive.
Yeah, okay.
And then I'm still trying to get a tight end. So if anyone wants to shop a tight end,
Do
that'd
not
be great.
give Jason a tight end. His
I have
team's
George
already
Kittle
too good.
if you want George Kittle or Chig.
Hey, Kyle, shut up.
Yeah, I would.
You're
I
already
would flirt with
already
Kittle.
stuck in his team.
I'd flirt with Kittle, but he's $40. He's
You're gonna
$39.
have to pay
Yeah.
so much.
Hey, you know
He's
what?
expensive. He's going to
You
die
could
on my roster.
drop CMC, and then you'll have plenty of cap room for Kittle.
That's true.
Yeah,
I would
I'm
100%
scared
feel
of week 13, and I know our division's going to come down to week 13, and then Hawkinson is on bye. But I'm sure I'll do something. Who owns Schultz?
That's
You
John.
don't want Dalton Schultz.
John does.
John ain't giving
Yeah.
him up.
John's not
No.
giving you shit.
Never mind.
Who's
Man,
got
I'll move on.
Jonathan's
Moving
been the
on.
hottest shit in JB since like sliced
John was
bread.
just as much of a truther on
Wait.
Schultz
Let's
as I
talk
was.
about the last trade.
Yeah,
Hold on.
and
Let's
that's
talk
right.
about the last trade.
Go to that
Oh, I
You're
thought we
right.
talked about them all. My bad.
Well, no, then
McLaurin.
Kyle and I, we just did this one just a few hours ago.
Man, we hot this week.
Christian Watson and a second. He finally sent over something that I could sink my teeth in. I'm pretty desperate to move Christian Watson. As you guys know, I love him and Gabe Davis kind of in the same type of vein. But I can't afford to keep starting him in a 3 wide receiver league. I can't afford to do it. I don't know what it is. He had 8 targets the week before
He
with
can't
3
stay healthy.
receptions. He's been healthy is the problem.
Yeah,
and
Have you
He
watched?
hasn't
the
been
games?
healthy. No.
Kyle,
No,
you're
I
a
haven't.
Packer-
That's my
you're a Packer-
problem.
You're a Packer fan, aren't you, Kyle? Are you watching these games with Christian Watson?
I'm watching some of them. It is not inspired play.
Watson looks like butt. He looks so bad. I don't.
and
like,
he's not. So that can happen.
I'm a
Right.
huge Christian Watson fan, both from like a Packers standpoint and from a film standpoint.
I would.
The offense just, I don't know what's going on. Everyone sucks.
The O line is terrible. Jordan Love has made like 2 or 3. He's not made very many completed passes more than 15 yards downfield, which, like, Watson's big guy, get down there, throw the ball. But if you watch Watson run the
I don't
route,
even know what war means.
he does not.
When's against replacement?
But if you look at like Watson running his routes, he's not. He's like jogging his routes. He's quitting
I don't know
on
what's
plays
going on,
before the
man.
ball gets there. Like, to me, that reminds me of Chase Claypool.
My guess is he's.
Oh, I love
Don't.
Chase Claypool.
No, you don't. Stop it.
No.
Loved it. Past tense. Past
Yeah, he
tense.
said loved. So I hate Watson right now.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with
Like
that whole offense, but specifically Watson. Like,
the freak athleticism. Like last year, we saw a 3-game sample where he looked great, and
He was
everybody's
injured
been
before that.
riding that. And
It
there's
had
been
to,
nothing that's made you want to like this guy since.
he has. So
last
So
There was
here's
more
my
than-
explanation. He has an extensive history of hamstring specific injuries, which is normally hamstrings are like whatever, but if it's a history of them, it's a problem, and you can like predict it in the future. So that's not the last hamstring injury he'll have. The offense,
That's any
aside from
speedster.
the injury, he's not
Yeah.
100%. But aside from the injury, I don't know what's going on with the offense. It's trash, except for against the Rams, which
Well, the line is trash.
Well, and you had a plan for it, right? You said you already tagged him, or you already
yeah.
had
So I
2 extensions.
extended McLaurin twice already, and he's 2 years left. So after this year, I would have to tag him, or I would just let him die for 1 more year.
Yeah.
Like, so for me, it made more sense to trade him, even though a $4 wide receiver 2 is valuable. I'm trading him for value because who knows? Maybe Christian Watson's worth the first next year. We don't know. We don't know right now. He's not worth it right now.
Where's
but
McLaurin on the rankings?
He's like mid-high wide receiver 2, I think, like 15 maybe.
Okay,
he's
so
got 115 points.
Here's
15, I think.
here's something to consider: is do you think he can be a top 15 this year or next year?
Who?
Maybe.
McLaurin.
And that's fair. That's
because
something I
if
didn't
he
consider.
is, he's going to be a holdout, and that's the one exception to you getting a third extension, and you could have got a 2-year extension.
No one thinks that Terry
So
McLaurin's going
the
to be a
other thing
holdout,
is
though.
that a true holdout from $4 is like a 15 minimum pay bump. So even if I get to keep him for 2, 3, or whatever 4 years or whatever it is, he's not as valuable as when he's $4 for anyone.
Just
That's
just
true.
say you like Watson and just
McLaurin's
I do
worth
like
2
Watson.
seconds, right? 2 seconds, and that's what you're getting.
And the other
Liquidity
thing,
and Christian Watson.
the other thing is that Jay wanted Christian Kirk for Watson straight up, and I almost took it, and then I said no because I'm like not super excited about Christian Watson on my fantasy teams right now.
That was a few weeks ago when
Was
Christian
it?
Watson was coming back too. So it seemed a little bit more even when Watson was ranked. Watson is just dropping down the dynasty ranks.
Yeah, he's
He-
plummeting.
So we were
Yes.
talking about last year. He played in 14 games last year. In 4 games, he had all of his touchdowns, 7, and half of his yardage on the season, 300
Yeah,
yards.
I mean, to be
And
fair, he got kind of iced up by Aaron Rodgers too after
got-
that week 1
got-
drop.
Yeah, but everyone
Nothing.
needs that receiver, that downfield receiver. Every team needs that. They need that to open up the offense. This
They
is
might-
theirs.
But
might-
you
they
don't
might
have an
need him.
offensive line that could protect the quarterback long enough for
Yeah.
those
But not
routes.
this year. So he's
Yeah,
not taking on
dynasty.
whoever's getting Watson isn't taking him for this year. Who cares
No.
what he does this year? You're buying a young freak athlete receiver for the year of 2024. You
Kyle's
don't care what he's
definitely.
doing
This
this
isn't
year.
a this year thing for Kyle.
Yeah,
Because
he
he's
doesn't need
completely
it.
Yeah, this
showing.
doesn't.
I'm still in the running for
You're
the
buying a
101,
talent
so
low.
like losing Terry McLaurin and getting a
Ooh.
like a
Are
potential
you really? I haven't
0.
looked at that recently.
I think I'm 104 right now, but I'm like within 50 PF or PP. Oh yeah,
You're
102.
102 right now, and you are
22.
within 21 potential.
And Tony
Awesome.
scored 60 more points than me this week.
I told Tony, man, he thought he's gonna have it locked up, but I'm like,
And wait, just
I-
like real low key, I also have Jason K's 103.
I don't
So
think
I
anyone.
have 2 horses in the race.
yes.
I think everyone knows you have Jason's first
Oh
by
yeah,
now.
I just got to remind him every week because I'm sure he listens and he hates it.
I just offered
What
Tony.
did he give you for that 103?
I actually forget. I thought it was Mike Williams, but that was a different trade we did.
It was a package.
I think it was last year, like before we rolled over the league.
Mm.
I offered a 25 first and a 25 second for Kincaid, and Tony was he told me to shove it up my ass.
He did
So
you
that
a
was neat.
favor. He did
That
you a
was neat.
favor.
I'm willing to buy, guys. I'm willing to spend. I do not want to have these picks.
So Kyle, you got any more point getters for you that you want to get off so you can get
I
that
have
101?
okay. This team, even though I'm second least PP, I have like point scorers still. I have Lamar Jackson. I got Cam Akers. I got
That's
Keenan
kind of like
Allen.
I was
Yeah, we
last
just want
year.
to get rid of
Keenan
everybody.
Allen, and Christian
would be
Kirk are
good.
the last 2 that like are really are movable.
Hey, I'm just gonna give some love to John. John, brother, you better get to moving, trading or punt. This is the crossroads, and we're gonna go on to SF2 and wrap this biatch up real quick. But John, this is the story of your life. This is the epitome of your team and your management.
He does
Right.
not make these moves.
All right.
Yeah, and this is why I had him ranked so low in our power rankings prior to the season, because he's not going to do what it takes. And I said a similar thing to Zach, and he shoved that right up my butt, and he proved me wrong. And he's emotionless in
Wait a
trades this
second,
season.
Kyle.
So this is John. You're crossroads. This week 10 right now this is your Super Bowl. This is it. If you're going to drop down and Joe is now tied and humming with Taysom Hill, and then Texans. But what happened?
This is Kyle. He wants to talk, and you keep talking.
Did he? Okay. This is all I'll say.
Not the
It's
first
time
time.
to either sell some assets and build for next year, or start trading to win. Go, Kyle. Sorry, I was looking at another screen. I didn't see.
It was T. Higgins for J.K. Dobbins and for J.K. Dobbins and a 24 first, which is currently the 103. So it sucks for me, but also it doesn't suck for me.
What did you trade? Sorry, I was still laughing at you.
T. Higgins for J.K. Dobbins and a 24 first.
Okay.
So John literally started. Who did he start last week? It was at quarterback. Like
Backup.
he
Kyle,
he
that's
just
good stuff, dude.
refuses to make the moves. Like it's
I know.
despite his own face. Like I don't get it.
I know.
Just go to game.
And who's more likable than John? Roy?
Look at this. Clayton Toon and
Tony?
Brett Ripken.
Oh no, dude! What are you doing?
He won't sell any of his other players
man.
for quarterbacks because he still thinks he can win without quarterbacks. You don't just throw a week away.
This is how Joe makes it into playoffs. This right
Yes,
here.
you do not throw weeks away like this, especially with double headers.
Yeah, it's what this division is way too tight to do stuff like that.
Who? John, you need to find the person with your first and start strategizing right now. Don't make any offers. Don't get crazy. But this is make or break, bro. This week right here is probably make or break. I'd say every moment that goes by is make or break.
I have his first.
He sold his first.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, I don't know who's
I
going to
have
be better
his
in 2 years,
his
you or me, because
first and
I'll tell you
Joe's.
what, you have like multiple firsts, and you're winning
Who?
the
The
division.
problem is his
Adrian.
first right now is the last pick.
I don't care. You got 107. That's great. I'm happy.
No, I'm saying for John, that's for him that sucks.
Oh yeah.
To try to get it back. Like he needs to make a move to win that division.
SF2.
I
And
love
was
trading
trying
for
to sell
first.
Carr.
I love it. I love trading for people that think they're going to make playoffs before the season. Like Jason K, I traded for that first thinking it was like 110, and here we are. You know, like that's my favorite thing to do.
You were just getting rid of Higgins out of spite.
Yeah, it was not a spite. It was I'm just not as high.
Spite to Higgins.
I was trying. Yeah, I was trying to move Higgins because I knew everyone else valued him more than I do. It's not that I hate him; it's just that I don't think he's quite as valuable as everyone else does.
Oh,
And I
love
love
him.
J.K. Dobbins, but that obviously didn't work out.
I know you do. All right, SF2.
Hey,
That's a 2.
speaking of J.K.
We're just going to
Dobbins,
go through going to go through the trades, speak on the
Oh, my
trades. We're out.
Yeah. This is, I forget who the Steelers are, but is it Bill?
Brian.
Brian, who is the no longer Kirk Cousins owner. He's trading a 25 second and Kirk Cousins for 2 quarterbacks. One of them is good and the other is not.
Minshew is
Usable
good.
though.
Mac Jones might be
Yeah,
fine. He'll probably lose his job.
And I'm breathing
I
down his
thought-
neck, so he had to make a move.
That was me giving up Mac and Minshew for
Great trade
Kirk in a
for Jay,
second.
because Jay's full tanking here.
I would 100% give up Mac and Minshew for Kirk in a second.
Yeah.
We'll see
I'm
if Kirk
into-
comes back.
I'm
I'm not
into it.
sure, but it doesn't matter because
But the thing is, Brian needs to compete if he wants, because he's number 1 in his division,
Mhm.
and I'm pretty close. So, or we might be tied, I think. So
Yeah,
he needed to make a move.
He's got a good team too.
Hopefully
Yeah.
he doesn't put himself in the spot where he's trying to decide which one to start and he starts the wrong one.
I think he unfortunately was
start
the only
Minshew.
one to lose his doubleheader
he lost his doubleheader and his matchup this week.
Well, he was the only one to
Oh.
lose his doubleheader, I think.
Interesting.
Dang, that sucks. And he must have started Kate Otten, right? And he lost. And with Tyreek didn't do anything.
He
Keenan
lost
Allen
by
didn't.
6 points, 5.5
Oof.
points. He did start Kate Otten.
Yes, he was the only one in his division because the rest of my division, I'm the one that beat him
Oh,
in the
okay.
doubleheader, which is why I'm in the division lead right now, and everyone else in the division, his division won.
Good job. Dang, hey, you pulled it around. I thought you were losing.
He
I thought
is.
you had strung together some losses, Zach.
He almost gave up, and then this
Oh, is that
week's
what it was?
results came in, and he's like, "I'm back in it, baby."
Well, speak on your trade too, because that's sexy. That's a little trade, but it's sexy.
Very
Yeah.
sexy.
Yeah. The other one is me and Zach. It's Christian Kirk and Laporta for J.K. Dobbins and some trash. Brandon.
Trash.
Jason K hated it, and I think it's just because I'm in it. But
I hated it too. For you.
I also have
Love it for
Kincaid in
that.
this league. I think Kincaid and Laporta are pretty bang even for Dynasty. Not this year, but for Dynasty in general. I also have Brandon Ayuk as a Dynasty wide receiver 1.
I love Ayuk, and I almost didn't take this.
Oh, you were offered this?
Yes,
I sent it to him.
So I sent him something else.
Damn.
What is
Now
it you
you
like
laid your
about
nuts on
Ayuk?
the table.
What is it you guys like about Ayuk? Because he really hasn't been
I don't
producing
think
very well.
that's a wide receiver 1.
I don't think
That's
so either.
okay. For me,
His route running.
yeah, he's good. He's very good at everything.
How long have we been saying this about Ayuk?
Some people are
I mean,
slow to get there.
Sometimes the prospect matches the projection.
He's
I
got
like
some
gotta-
good weeks.
They've
like
always
Ayuk.
had a good backfield. They've always had Kittle since he's been there. Debo's been there. I mean, it's a
I like
deep-
Ayuk. I just don't.
I don't think he's as high as what. Yeah, I have him at 17, wide receiver 17.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
and
Dynasty.
that's fine. I basically project beyond
this is-
just
like
the
I said,
12 months. So
yeah.
I see him being higher. And I also see other players that people like more, like T. Higgins. I don't have him that high.
I
For
think
example.
That's the beauty of fantasy and everybody's opinion.
Mhm.
I mean,
So-
I don't think any trades would get done if people value the people's.
So
exactly.
Zach sent me J.K. Dobbins, Kendrick Bourne, Josh Palmer, Pat Fryermuth, Michael Mayer, and a 24 first for Christian Kirk and Sam Laporta. And then he pings me, he goes, "Give me Sam Laporta and Christian Kirk," and I rejected that. And then I sent him back that because I like Brandon Ayuk.
I think getting rid of
Easy
Dobbins
peasy.
is addition by subtraction.
You think what?
Getting rid of Dobbins is addition by subtraction.
I'm
He
also
loves
trying
Dobbins.
to. I'm making my pick better by doing this. I was gonna put a third in instead of Dobbins, but I figured Dobbins is worth more than the third.
Just think if you would have kept Hal,
Mm-hmm.
how good your team would be.
Did I kept 2?
How?
Hal.
Oh yeah. No, it's still trash because I don't have a like Derek Carr's my fucking QB2 then. Like what am I
Russell
doing?
Wilson. You got Russell Wilson. Dog.
Oh fuck, I forgot about Russell Wilson. Oh no, that's ballers that I have.
I
Derek
set you
Carr
up pretty
and,
good,
Mac
I
Jones or
think.
something.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this trade was really great for both. People have to understand 3 wide receiver leagues, that's tough. If you can have 3, if you're starting 3 top 20 wide receivers, that's a huge edge over most people because they will have usually a bunch of
Kirk-
trash at wide receiver,
Kirk's
usually
those-
with a
those
really
slum.
expensive in salary league, wide receiver 1. But I thought that was sexy, dude. And you got a killer tight end and you got a killer wide receiver.
Looking
And-
back at the offers he sent me in the season, I probably could have asked for more than Ayuk, but I figured Zach and also Jay, not that it's involving you, but both of you guys are really high on Ayuk, so figured it was
Mhm.
appropriate. And I have Kincaid, so I don't need both
Mhm.
tight ends.
Also,
Yeah, I like
couldn't,
this side.
blow up my team either and still compete.
Mm-hmm. No, I think Zach got the better deal because he got Christian Kirk over Dobbins, and that's going to help you compete. So you got that's solid. Yeah, Pickle.
Question for Kyle, since this is his league.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does Green Bay gonna make the playoffs?
Did I have Green Bay making I did not have Green Bay making the playoffs.
Is that Jake?
Do you stand by that?
That is Jake. That's
Yeah,
why
yeah,
I'm
Jake.
laughing because
Just say yes. Just say yes.
Mitch is
Yeah.
bringing it up.
Okay, so what did I have?
Yeah. like
There's
that
got to be a
team's gonna-
backstory to this
7 and
somewhere.
5. So Lions went 1-1.
No, you had me missing it.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
had
just-
you,
just
I had
about-
you missing it. So Lions was the last
Yeah.
wild card to make it, and I was expecting them to go 1-1 because they already lost DH, and they won their week like I expected because they played a freebie.
Yeah.
I still have, I guess,
I like
Jake
I like
not
that
making
prediction.
playoffs.
Yeah,
And he
okay.
lost his week.
He did. Second highest score in team, but he lost.
Is he?
No.
What is? Oh, that sucks.
He lost.
Okay,
Did he play Renee?
He lost by
So-
2 points.
Okay, so two important things that I did want to talk about specifically. The Ravens lost their week when I thought they would win it. I thought they were going to win their week, but I thought they were going to lose the doubleheader, but they won it.
Hmm.
So they're still exactly where I wanted them to be in terms of my projections. They
Except,
still have that shot.
except that the in-conference
3.
game loss hurts them more than the doubleheader loss would have.
That is true. But they were 0-2 anyways, so they weren't going to win on division matchups.
No, the division wouldn't have mattered. It would have
right.
it potentially would have come down to the conference. He could have been 4-5 instead of 3
Yeah.
and 6.
So it was that one was with Houston, because I think I had the Titans winning that division. Now that the Texans, it's the Ravens are going to come down to what happens in AFC South is how I had it drawn up. And then the other one that I wanted to talk about is Mitch versus Renee. It's the Bears and the Rams. I thought Mitch was going to win this week, and it was very close. I think it was 2 points off or something.
Zoma dropped that touchdown by Zach Wilson. And
Yeah, brutal.
and
I mean,
then
it was
lost.
probably a terrible target.
It was actually wide open. It hit him in the chest, and he dropped
Yeah,
it.
you lost by just over 2 points.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
I think you won your doubleheader though, so it's. I mean,
did.
you're still going to
So
win
I
that
I
division.
wasn't-
I would be surprised if you didn't. Same with Renee.
I was talking to Jake, and he was saying how he thinks he could still win the division and make the playoffs in SF2, and I was like, I don't think so.
I think
Doesn't he
I
always-
think
This
it's reasonable to expect he could
Unless he's
make
not.
wild card, but I don't think he's going to win the division.
I don't think so either.
This
All right,
is
I just wanted to bring attention to that. That was
Yeah,
shout
you're
out to my
welcome.
boy Jake.
Your banner is pretty sweet, Braxton.
It is. dude.
people living
It
on
is.
hope, thinking that they're gonna be able to make it when they probably really can't.
Although
You don't
I
get-
said it was a banner, and Zach yelled at me and called me an idiot.
You don't get
Calling
any
it a
points
banner.
for reusing a banner, Braxton.
Yes,
I like
you have the best banner. Although Ash's is pretty sweet too.
It's a logo.
Until he changed the name.
It's a banner logo.
No, it's a logo.
Oh, and then I destroyed the Panthers.
Pretty bannery.
All right, so that's it then, isn't it?
I'm not trying to win. Panthers lost doubleheader to Jason K, the Ravens, and they lost their week. So they went 0-2 this week. So they are in hot water.
I'm gonna get the 101. I'm super pumped.
I'd be
I'm
shocked.
gonna
if
have
you didn't.
Caleb Williams and Burrow. But that's gonna
Technically,
be
it's
it.
an
That's-
icon.
All right, guys. Hey,
Icon.
much love to everyone. Super fun. Appreciate you guys. Week 9 in the books. Catch us in Discord. Love you guys. We'll talk to you later.